From land to megawatts. How to turn a battery storage project into a 20-year cash machine. So picture a big clay patch of desert in Texas. You see? Dust. But a veteran developer sees a live interconnection queue, a juicy power price curve, and 20 years of cash flow politely waiting to be harvested. So skip a move, and the 7-figure upside dries up faster than a paddle under the Mojave sun. So let's walk the real playbook. No fluff, no fairy dust.
Nice.
So the first step is due diligence. So this phase is all about one question. Is the project worth doing? Okay, so first make sure the dirt isn't cursed. Then grab the site control, then sprint to the grid operator and ask, is there an open slot or am I already current number in 300 in the queue? So once you submit the interconnection request, you are officially in line. While the study boards crunch and run a lightning round on fire code, wetlands, and any endangered jackrabbits that could lawyer up later. If a siren flashes red, kill the deal now. Cheap funerals beats expensive resurrections. Okay, let's move on to the next step, the development. So this phase is about how to do the project, how to run approvals, how to make it real. And now the marathon begins. This is where carriers grow gray hair. And 3 lanes run in parallel. All of them must cross the finish line together before we pull a single slab. So the first lane is grid and permits. Interconnection studies come back with a Chevy-like label. So the green means, okay, the grid can take your power. And the amber means, sure, but upgrade the transformer and maybe the lines. And the red means come, forget it, or spend like crazy. So while that paperwork shuffles, you keep feeding the county fresh drawings, the land use permits, the fire marshal's notes, and the noise reports. So each new stamp notices the project from nice theory toward investable asset. So the second land is revenue lock. You either marry one buyer under a long-term power purchase agreement that we also call that PPA, or you stay single and play the merchant market. The banks adore the steady spouse. The merchant cowboys get half the leverage and twice the volatility. And meanwhile, Insure Tower in the background pricing battery fire rigs away actuaries pricing and skydiving. And the third lane is financing loop. The investors and IPPs model the numbers down to the 5th decimal. The USITC can carve 30% of capex, unless Congress changes its mind mid-deal, and lenders then slam the model with stress test. Lower price, higher rates, and ask, can you still make the mortgage? If not, you sleep in more equity, sharpen the PPA tariff, or restructure the debt tenor until the spreadsheet turns green. And this looping dance, permit, contrast, money can take 2 to 4 years. When all 3 lanes finally flash green on Sam Tuesday, your beard, or patience will be several shades grayer. But now, the project will be real. So now it's construction. It's time to trade spreadsheet for steel. The first stage is factory acceptance. The containers and PCS units get dyno tested at the plant. Sync the neonatal checks up for megawatts babies. And anything squeezed, it never board the truck. And second gate, the site acceptance. The gear lands on real dirt. Cruise torque bolts, scan wheels, measure insulation and ground resistance. The test catalog is 6 thermal cams and X-rays, partial discharge sniffers, but the punch line is simple. Prove nothing will arc, combust, or electrocute the neighbor's cow. The third gate, sync. The entire stack powers up, harmonizes with grid frequency, and exchanges electrons without causing a brownout. The passing seconds celebrate, triple relay, and the utility slams the disconnected faster than you can spell liquidated damages. And only when those 3 stamps are blue can you flip the revenue switch. And now the final phase, operations. Commissioning is chapter 1, but the real novel is 20 years long. The project brain where your EMS hunts price spikes and green signals, charging cheap and discharging rich. The good code earns applause, and the bad code earns fines. The body is those battery racks get monthly walks, the thermal scans, and firmware vitamins. So swap one tire sale today or barbecue a container next summer. Yeah, you can choose. The wallet stays healthy by stacking value streams. Yeah, energy arbitrage, capacity payments, and frequency response. Yeah, like a Starbucks that sells coffee, mugs, and gift cards. Yeah, so every month the data pack hits vendors and regulator inboxes. Keep the numbers pretty and everyone smiles, sleep, and the covenant clouds come out. So, the journey from land to megawatts is real. Spot the landmines, lock the money, build the metal, and babysit the pre-machine for 2 decades. Thank you guys, hit the subscribe, She Talks Energy.